live. Welcome everybody to another edition of Gentleman Dog Portrait. With me today this isn't even a studio, it's a classroom. But with me today are my good friends Gerard, Anthony.
Live from St. John's Hall. I'm
Alma
Gerard.
mater.
Oh man, I'm Anthony. This is a pleasure to be here. I'm having fun in
Tony
this class.
You are a hard man to get a hold of.
I know,
Holy
yeah.
crap.
I can't get a hold of myself half the time, so I'm actually glad to.
Yeah, I tried getting you earlier, and you were like, "I'm in San Diego." I'm like, "You're."
I think it was a good time. Good food, good margaritas.
Yeah, there's like a lot of good pictures of you guys. Just like
Absolutely.
you leaning on a palm. What did it feel like to lean on a palm tree and not an oak or whatever the hell we have here?
Very different, warm.
I think we have more than one tree variety.
No, we do.
I don't
but
know.
There's
I
palm
couldn't tell the
trees
difference.
and then there's other trees.
Well, I mean, the palm trees are definitely
Like,
very different to me.
if I saw a
I
palm
don't live in
tree-
a tropical locale. People were way nicer there. I didn't like that. It kind of like skied me out.
Really?
Yeah.
Skied
No,
you
I've
out.
learned that. I've learned that about anywhere else other than New York. Like, people are just incredibly nice.
Yeah,
Nice,
there's
but what
see,
is
I
with
miss
it?
the asshole-ish nature. Like walking down the street, like the beggars would come up and offer to shake their hand, and they introduce their names to me, be like, "Hey, I'm Dave," and I'm like, "No,
But
dude, I
that's
don't want you."
kinda-
It's harder for me to say no when you're like, "I'm Dave. How you doing?"
It's hard.
Can I get
It's
like
hard to
$50?
say no
Oh,
anyway.
yeah.
I feel like with that, it's just like you might not even want anything. Maybe they just want to talk to
No,
someone.
they definitely
maybe
want
just-
They
something.
want something.
They definitely want
all right,
something.
all right.
Well, let me bring you back to my hobo cave. It's all right. I just
Although it
cleaned
is
the
in San
carpet.
Diego, it probably looks pretty nice,
Yeah.
and it's got beautiful weather there. I mean,
Beautiful homeless
it
people.
was like around 70-something.
Maybe it's a palm
clear
tree.
skies.
Maybe it's a bunch of palm trees.
A bunch of palm trees, a tree lot,
Maybe they live in a palm. I don't know. They don't live in a
Who lives in a palm tree?
on a palmment.
I would.
And a palm.
And a palm.
Oh, I keep forgetting this is like
Silent
a danger puns ahead.
Oh, absolutely.
Now,
You friggin' people. Not you people, whatever.
you.
We're all
people.
white.
Us people.
Specifying that.
But am I?
Pretty white.
Can't do this on me. I took metaphysics.
I'm sorry,
I took
I'm sorry.
metaphysics. You can't do this
You
on
know,
me.
metaphysics was very fun. My teacher was awesome. Cut many deals.
I was waiting for that.
Great guy. Really
Do we need
inspirational.
to explain that? Do you guys need to explain that?
Well, I mean,
You can
so,
tell the
so I can tell the
story.
story. So
Yeah.
there would I was never the most perfect student with attendance in metaphysics, but I would show up, frequently every 2 weeks, and it would be great because I would sit and when I wasn't there, I would show up after class and be like, "Hey, your class is at 9. Metaphysics is a pretty heavy subject to talk about at 9, so instead I'd wake up at 12 and go meet my professor at 1, catch some lunch and talk philosophy for like 2 hours." So he appreciated that. And when I was there, I would just do awesome with attendance and everything and participation. But there was another student who actually had a worse attendance record than I did, who was my student buddy, which meant we actually exchanged contact information for when one person was missing. You could call the other and have the status of what the classwork was, but since we both pretty much never went to class, it was a terrible system. So I was wondering, because in the class we had 2 papers and we had weekly assignments where we have to read different readings, summarize them, and explain them. And I was talking to my friend, and I asked him as we got close to the end of the semester, I go, "Hey, how's the paper status going?" He's like, "Oh, I didn't do anything yet." And I go, "Well, what do you mean?" And he says, "I spoke with our professor, and I offered him a deal." I go, "Well, what type of deal?" He goes, "Well, instead of writing 2 papers, I negotiated it to 1 paper on any subject, and I could hand it in a week after the final date." And I'm like, "How did that work?" He goes, "Well, I tried to get a C+." And my teacher was like, "No, I don't think I could do it. How about a C-?" And
So he could do it.
The
and I
fact that he
took it.
considered this deal to begin with.
I mean, the guy was pretty cool. Like, our teacher was awesome.
Yeah, I get that.
I feel like silly because I got an A, but I put a lot of work in. I mean, I would have taken a B+ for like half the papers. That would have been
Yeah.
fine.
Oh God, I actually remember taking metaphysics in Rome. Like we would just meet him after class, just kind of like hang out with him. And you think that would actually have like a happy ending? Just kind of like we would hang out, we would talk philosophy, we would actually discuss what we learned in class or like stayed awake through. And turns out he was everyone's worst enemy. Like with the final, like people who were getting A's in the class and like actually talking, like ended up getting like C+.
Really?
And you know those types, the ones who are like consistently getting A's.
Yeah. One would have thought he would have just wanted to see everything you guys did. I know when we were there for the week that we went up there, you know what I mean? Like, we just saw everything, and there was no school to deal with, so I can't imagine.
That's the best time. Going away to places with schools is terrible.
Well, I just wouldn't
It
go
is.
to school. I would just go where
Because it's a vacation, and then there's friggin'
there's
responsibility.
work.
To go along
Like,
with
you
it.
have to still study and do everything you do here, but in a place where you're not normally. So.
Yeah, and the drinking age is lower.
Well, at that
That
time.
is another
that's
time.
true.
Does
that
At
ever
that
stop
time, that was
anyone?
a significance.
It is a significant
Now
factor.
it's just like,
Does
It's
that
also
ever
just more
stop
like a
anyone?
company, like
That's what I want to know.
when you're in places like Italy. I'm sorry, what did you say? Dean?
No, I just want to know if that actually stops anyone. Like,
Well, I mean, it does.
beforehand.
I mean, like 14-year-olds go and drink at the bars because like they can maintain themselves properly. I don't know, they have an air of maturity among them. But
Yeah,
like
sure,
when
alright.
you're in places like Italy, you wake up, you drink a glass of wine, you go to work at 11 a.m.
not
Start
like
your
the
day, take
nonsense
an
it
hour
is
break
here.
at 12, then you siesta from 3 to 4, and then
Yeah.
go back to shop
I
around
think
5, and then you just hang out for a little bit and tell people you're closing in 5 minutes for the next 2 hours. So
I feel like we're confusing a couple of cultures. When does Oktoberfest fit in here?
I mean, it was. I'm exaggerating. It was a wonderful place, and it was a lot of fun. Definitely a much more laid back atmosphere. However, if you needed something after 7 p.m., which was not an alcoholic beverage or food, good luck finding it.
Oh yeah, I remember when I first went to Europe. Like when the plane touched ground, and I like went down to explore. Everything closed after like 5.
You
couldn't do
mentioned
anything.
planes. When I was there, actually, it was the first time there was record-breaking snow in Rome. It was 6 inches, and the city shut down for like 2.5 weeks. And
2.5 weeks?
Oh yeah. Because,
Well, you were there?
Oh, I was there, and like
Oh,
nothing
man.
happened. You couldn't deliver food. The grocery stores were empty completely. Delivery men wouldn't be
The bread
sent
and
out
milk.
because they were threatened. They felt like their lives were endangered. There was literally like 2 inches of snow on the ground after a couple of days, but it was like cobblestone, so you get that slipping factor. Anyway, I had been flying from Barcelona back into Rome when this occurred. And half the airport just decided to not show up that day. So from touchdown to actually getting back to the airport took about 2.5 hours. Now, granted, this was like a 1-hour flight, so it took longer to get off the airplane. They wouldn't even let us get off the plane. Like they just let us like sit there for 2 hours. You could have walked. It was about a 10, maybe 15-minute walk to the airport from like the taxiing center. They waited to get buses. They apologized to us, and it was also flying Ryanair, which. I don't know if you guys have ever flown Ryanair.
I
but
have, and
those-
it's a
I'm
giant
pretty-
infomercial in the air.
I'm pretty sure those pilots are ex-cons who take a shot of whiskey before they fly. But it is
I
a
got
wild
sold
ride.
perfume on that plane. I don't think that has ever actually happened to me. Like they just came down and was like, "Sorry, would you like to buy some perfume?" Why?
You can't
Why am I
even
doing-
make an airline food joke. It's just here's perfume. Nothing to eat.
Here's perfume, please buy. I don't even know. I don't wish Ryanair on anybody, and I know that's like a giant joke when it comes to Europe.
I mean, it was the best part about it was like $30, fly kind of wherever you want.
Very true, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
There's no guarantee you'll make
Yeah,
it, but
no.
at least you.
That's how it works.
Yeah, no, it was
it's
a
so
cheap.
cheap.
Really
it's
cheap,
incredibly
flight.
cheap.
To fly over there.
Yeah, but you're flying like a tin can. The pilot's like, "All right, get ready for the ride of your life," and it sure is.
I think it's like
sure
the
as hell
equivalent
is.
of. I think it's the equivalent of like taking JFK to like what, Philadelphia or something to like travel in between
But
countries.
see,
there.
JFK uses planes. I don't know what Ryanair uses. Like, I'm not exactly
Giant metal
sure.
birds.
Yeah, really, it's like the birds with Australian accents and like or British accents, whatever the pilots had, and it was great. You know, it'd be like they'd just be sitting
One day
there.
they were one and the same. Back in history.
I don't know.
That's
That's a
true.
good point.
Yeah, no.
That's why the accent is so similar yet so different.
Yeah.
Mostly similar.
Whatever happened to our accents? We were one and the same, right?
Were we?
Yeah, us in Britain.
Oh, I thought you were talking like way back in like the Australopithecus days.
No, no, no,
like
no,
freaking
no.
Ethiopia. Remember when we all talked the same and we all came from like the cradle of humanity?
Ah, that was a great cradle. It was very cozy. I loved it.
I love my mobile.
Well, what happened to our accent? I mean, our big brother over there
Well-
across the sea, a small pond.
Because most of us aren't actually from here. Like a lot of us are from other countries.
That's a good point.
Yeah, no, I came in like what is it, second wave of immigration? Not me personally, but like great.
I think I'm third generation.
I'm like a 1.75 or something because my mom came from Italy when she was 10. My dad was born in the Italian province of Brooklyn, so I mean,
Oh, he was born.
yeah, he was born in Brooklyn, but his parents came here from Italy, and then my mom's parents came from Italy too. So I don't know what that makes me. I'm just an enigma, an
I'm
amalgamation.
gonna go with
of-
American.
Yes, it makes me a true-blooded American.
Yep.
Anyone born here is I would say true-blooded American. I mean, we all like to say, "Oh, you know, my family's like part Irish, Italian." I mean, if you're born here, you're from here.
Yeah, but still, who wants to be like from? I mean, from New York's pretty cool, but I want to be like from like somewhere cool. Like Italy's pretty cool.
It is.
But that's
I
what I'm
love
saying.
my
Like we
Italian
have all
heritage.
this like bravado and all this swagger, and yet we're
because-
still like, "Oh, where are you from?" Well, my family's Irish, Italian, and I don't know anything about either of those places. But you
I know some stuff about it.
No,
I
no,
mean,
I'm not saying that
like,
you
didn't
don't. I'm just-
Garibaldi and the Red Shirts like united Italy, and they did a bunch of fun stuff right there.
I'm not about to spout
You mean bloodshed?
fun stuff.
All right, maybe.
Wars and rations and curfews.
I guess we might
all
have
that
read different
fun
history
shit.
books, Dean. I mean,
Well, I think that goes with a lot of people that like they take a lot of their cultural heritage and they just like they still live it. Like for Italian families, oh, my mom makes the pasta every day.
Dude, I make
the sauce every
gnocchi. I've learned how to make some sauces. My dad taught me how to make the pasta carbonara, which is like knock your
And he's
socks
talking
off.
with his hands too.
That's the mic can't capture.
No,
it fully,
even the
but you
accent
need it.
comes out when
It's
you say
unbelievable. My grandma's taught me how to make a bunch of different things, and
Plus
I'm
the
still like a
rainbow
novice to it. Oh, the
cookies.
rainbow cookies.
The rainbow
The rainbow
cookies.
cookies I have perfected. These rainbow
Wow.
cookies. Now, first off, a little bit of a side right here. The rainbow cookies. I've heard 7-layer cookies. No, that's bullshit. Rainbow cookies, tricolor cookies. All right, I understand that. But 7 layers, I understand you're trying to, there's a layer of
Little
chocolate,
crazy.
then
Little
this, that,
crazy.
and some jam.
barely a
no,
layer,
no.
bro.
That doesn't count. First off, there's 2 chocolates. You can't count those as both layers. It's unfair.
Cheating.
It's not. Yeah, that's
Cheating.
like that's repetition. I understand it might be good for the soul. It ain't good for the cookies. So I'm like, I want you to just clarify that. Rainbow cookies, they're unbelievable. One of my favorite desserts. One of the 3 things I know how to make that's dessert-based. The 2 others being red velvet cake and chocolate chip cookies.
Oh yeah, those are.
Oh, I actually know a 4th thing, too.
There's
It's
a
a
4th
wine cookie. It's actually made with no milk or eggs.
Really?
Yeah, it's made with 1 cup cooking sherry, 1 cup olive oil, 1 cup sugar, pinch of salt, and then as much flour as you want until you feel like the consistency
That's a
is right.
cookie.
Yeah,
You gotta make that, man. I've never had that.
Oh, it's awesome. They're really good. They're great
Whoa.
to dunk.
I gotta know what was
Crispy.
going through the original cook's head when they made
I
that.
think they just didn't have any ingredients.
They probably drank most of the sherry, and they're like, "Well, this sounds
'Cause
like
I'm already
it sounds like
thinking,
a good idea."
Sherry, olive oil. Oh, okay, maybe
Well,
you got
you
like a
gotta
nice little
factor,
marsala.
like,
Sounds like
let's
throw in
some flour.
Let's make cookies.
Way.
Oh, sugar, right? Sugars and cookies.
I mean, my
That's
family,
good.
when they were in Italy, my mom remembers that like eggs are actually very rare to come by, and so
Did they look under
and
the
so are
chickens?
things like, well, they didn't have chickens, so
They didn't have chickens.
I mean, at least not all the time.
how did they eat
Eventually,
chicken parm?
That's actually not that a traditional Italian.
I think that was
dish.
made in Brooklyn.
Oh.
Yeah, it's probably
Brooklyn.
Oh,
It's
that's
Italian
I mean,
American.
it's like, yeah, I mean, chicken parm is delicious. Don't get me wrong, but like,
It is.
let's call it spade a
It's an
spade.
Italian American dish. The same way I'm pretty sure chimichanga is like just some California. There's a lot of foods like
Yeah.
Mexican foods that are really just
Oh, yeah, just like Chinese food here isn't really
Yeah.
like Chinese food, but it's
Yeah, with the
delicious.
fortune cookies. Yeah.
Dude, I love those fortune cookies.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
Those are amazing.
Yeah.
They make my day.
But like, if back to like the central point that I was trying to make here.
Sorry.
No. It's like if I don't have anything like from the motherland, as some people.
Well, what is your motherland?
I think my father's side was like Spanish, Irish, German, Austrian, and my mother's
How
entire
do you
side
pronounce
was
your last
Italian.
name again?
Harrogate.
Oh, okay.
Harrogate.
I think-
Funny story, actually. Someone from work asked me, "How do you pronounce your last name?" And they related it back to Jamiroquai,
Huh.
the artist from the '90s.
I had no idea who
That's
Jamiroquai was.
funny.
Yeah,
Dylan,
Virtual Insanity?
Dylan been cracking
What's
up.
I don't know
right
what Virtual Insanity is either.
Oh wow!
now. You know.
Now you guys lost me. I went right over my head.
It's all right. Google it after this.
We'll have a learning.
We'll have a
experience.
learning. We'll
yeah,
put
no,
the song on and comment.
But
to
we
it.
didn't have any traditions like that. We didn't eat the fish on Christmas.
Oh, that's
We
a
didn't-
big tradition.
we
That's
didn't
not
have-
changing.
I've never done that either.
We didn't
Never
toast
knew that was a
to-
big thing.
You guys are. I mean, you're not technically missing out because I'm missing out on the meat, but you guys are missing out on meat. That's an awesome thing to experience. Like
My
Christmas
family
Eve.
just doesn't eat fish that much.
Oh, dude, fish
I've
is
never
so,
heard
You
of
don't get the
that in
calamari.
Italian.
You don't get no calamari.
I get it at a
My girlfriend likes
restaurant.
calamari.
You know?
It's good.
Oh, I'm sorry, the
a
fried
little bit of anchovies.
calamari.
Oh, fried calamari. All right, so calamari is done so many. I can go on and on about food. So if you ever need to cut me off, you just gotta cut me off.
I will
Like,
not.
You could put calamari in the red sauce. You could put calamari in like seafood sandwiches. Like that's like a staple. And if the seafood salad's too fishy, Maron, you gotta watch out. The family's gonna freak out. Christmas Eve is like the holiest of holy days in the Italian American household. Like we're talking months and months of preparation, slaving over the stove for several days. The cakes that are baked, the cookies that are made, the cannolis that are filled, everything is like a crucial part of this. Whether you're talking about the seafood that you order, everything that you fry, it's unbelievable. The house stinks like hell for the next couple of days because most of the stuff is fried or it smells like fish. You get the cod. You get pounds and pounds of cod, bacala, you salt it, and you drain the salt out in the water, and then you could batter it. You can make shrimp like 17 different ways.
I think we basically just eat tilapia, and that's just like maybe like on like during Lent.
That's actually one thing we don't eat is tilapia, but we do.
great.
have
The
a
one dart that
plethora.
I throw, it doesn't even make the dart.
I mean, we have there's a lot of other fish in the sea.
On that note,
trying-
before I gouge my eyes out.
It's like a date, not a date. You know what I mean? Like Christmas is a date. You can't take Christmas.
All right, that's true. We do have dates though.
Those are good.
Those are delicious.
yeah.
I should have shut my mouth.
Good for your digestion.
They are good. They are good.
All right. So, anyways,
Sweet.
yeah. So, anyways, this podcast primarily is an offbeat news program, which I maybe that's very loose requirements, but whatever. So we got some weird news from what was last week actually? The week ending in like the 18th. Yeah, we're doing this episode late because that's the only time I could wrangle these two guys together.
Oh.
So we got some older stuff. So hey, you might still be the cool guy around the water cooler.
The water cooler.
The water cooler guy. So, anyways,
cooler.
kid gets a felony charge for something he did in school instead of detention. And what did he do? Logged onto the computer network, changed his teacher's background to what is this now? 2 men kissing.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, that's not it.
That was very different than the.
I prefaced this before.
description
You
before.
really like.
I
You
prefaced this
hyped it
before,
up.
yeah.
Wow, dude, sensationalism to the extreme right there.
Hold on,
man.
I didn't like read this fully.
Oh, you
but
didn't
then
read
again,
the news article that we're supposed to be reporting on.
We are reporting on
Well,
it.
the title of the article, great journalism here. Student who pranked his teacher should get a detention, not jail, and a felony. And of course, me, the inquisitive guy, I'm like, what did he do that warranted a felony? Did he steal the Hope Diamond? Let's find out. Nope, it's just changing a picture of 2 men kissing.
A picture of 2 men kissing. If it was another picture of 2 men kissing, and then he changed it to a different picture of
That
2
would be
men
4
kissing,
men kissing
that's
right
not.
4 men kissing.
Four.
At least
where
think of
does
a
it
construction site.
Yeah, I was just gonna say foreman. The puns erupt.
Oh,
There's a sawmill in the background.
I mean, I think detention would have been the logical first step here. Maybe perhaps jumping to a suspension, a nice talking to. I mean, the felony.
does the fact that this happened in Florida change anything?
Well, I mean, if you have to pick 2 states that really should not be in the country, it's Florida and Arizona. So I guess that,
Oh man,
I guess that could be a large factor.
why Arizona?
Because Arizona has some vigilante laws there. They don't really like immigration. They're quite radical. They're really close to Mexico.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess they have more of a right to say that. Than
I mean,
us.
what about they're crazy?
Yeah, they're a little crazy, but I'm saying it's not our backyard. Everyone here is like immigrants, and Arizona's like, no, we're dealing with it, not
we live
you.
in New York. We have a lot of immigrants here, and I love it. I love the fact that I can go into New York
Look,
City
I'm not
and
saying
hear
it's a bad
5,000
thing,
languages
but I'm-
pretty much.
It's very true.
It's awesome. And in Arizona, it's more like, well, maybe you guys should leave. And I'm just like, okay. I've never been to Arizona.
Maybe what we all need
I heard
to do
there's
is
like some hole in the ground everyone loves.
We all need to go live in Arizona for a while, and they need to come here, and then we'll see if any sides are
Yeah, but then
switched.
like, who's in Arizona besides like Smokey the Bear and forest fires? Like, I really don't understand. Like,
why are they trying to kick people out?
Oh, actually, my company's headquarters are in Arizona, so I might be out of a job.
You know, it should be called Arizona because it's like super hot
Arid.
and like everything's made
Arizona.
of everything's made of Adobe and not the Photoshop. It's like the actual like that
The
brick.
clay, the sun-dried clay.
Yeah, like the only sun dried things I like are tomatoes. I don't like sun dried tray or any.
So Arizona, I can see, but why Florida not being a state in the? I was going to say,
apart from Disney World, what does Florida have?
Oranges and alligators.
Oh, you know, I don't like alligators, but oranges is a good point.
it's where we
They
send
are
our
really-
old people.
Yeah, but like,
Don't you want to see Grandpa?
I mean, yes, but
So
my grandpa's not in Florida, and there's a reason for that too. We want to maintain his sanity. Okay, come on. It's like it's Florida.
what about
who
old
goes
Canasta
to,
Hill going
apart from
on
old
there?
people who goes to Florida? People go to Disney World or like Universal Studios, and maybe some of those beaches that they want to go see and then get like bit by sharks. or
Miami's a
something.
pretty big city. There's a lot of stuff going on there.
All right. Okay, so maybe you have like one city, but like think of all the crazy stuff you hear in Florida. Wasn't there like that thing about like the stand your ground law that happened?
Oh,
in
I'm pretty
Florida?
sure you know that show South
Yes.
Beach Toe about the woman that just chases people around with the stuff. That's in Florida.
Yes,
that's a
Florida's
funny show.
crazy. I think like in Florida, there's some rule where like if someone mugs you, you can just like shoot them with a bazooka. It's like that even outclasses Texas, where you can like buy grenades just for like pleasure. It's like I don't understand.
Grenades.
Been waiting for this all week.
I just want to blow something up. Yeah, no. So that's why I think like Florida and Arizona. If we had to go back to 48, knock those 2 out, bump us up to 49, just take Puerto Rico. I don't know if they want it, but might as well.
Apparently they do.
You
Yeah,
think,
I've watched
you
John
think
Oliver.
you think they would give this kid a felony charge? What state did this happen in?
Florida?
Oh, this
That's
is
what
why we're talking about Florida.
I mean,
Oh, okay.
I'm not just bashing
I was
Florida
gonna-
for the sake of bashing
I
Florida.
was going to
And
say,
don't get me wrong, I do love Florida.
Yeah,
Disney World is awesome.
yeah.
And that's unbelievable.
You know what?
I bet like that's how like when everyone's like New York City, and then there's the rest of New York that no
one
one's
cares
talking
about.
Right, we're all like Disney
I
World.
don't even
And
care about
Florida,
most of New York. Apart from Long Island, I lived there, like Strong Island, woo, but that's about it. And we got that
Shut
tea
up.
named after us. I don't know why, but that's really like...
I was going to say maybe we should just get rid of North Dakota. We already have a Dakota to fall back on.
Just
Yeah, but then we
combine
have
'em.
West Virginia and Virginia.
They should settle their differences.
But see, when there's
Civil
North
War
and
happened.
South Carolina, there was that veil between 2 mountains of conceit.
Well, South Carolina, they can leave too. I'm just saying. You
How
know
many
what?
other
they-
states are there
they
in
have nowhere
pairs?
to go.
Are there any other
Pairs?
pairs? What about Kansas and Kansas, like the pirate version of Kansas? I don't
This is
understand.
Arkansas.
Oh, I meant Arkansas.
Oh, okay,
It's
fine.
Arkansas. It's not
Arkansas.
Kansas.
Arkansas.
It's like pronouncing something French just because you want to like.
Or like Parsons, if you want to really class it up, go to Parsons.
Yeah. Right? Or
Parsons.
instead of cheese whiz,
Parsons.
it's Chez Whiz.
Chez
Whiz.
Chez Whiz.
Oui, oui.
But if there's anything that Fargo's taught me, it's that North Dakota is full of potential killers.
Really?
Yeah, totally.
You know, if you have a last name that's also a first name, you have an increased likelihood of becoming a serial killer. So, like, for example, if your name was like
Billy Bob,
Billy Bob,
Ricky Bobby,
yeah,
Ricky Bobby.
Ricky Bobby.
You are like a frightened little chipmunk.
But back to your,
I don't remember that.
back to the,
Yeah, they say it. It says it in the movie.
I mean, I think the felony charge is a bit ridiculous, but knowing the Florida court systems will probably go through and everything's going to be. No,
It's a
fine and
14-year-old.
dandy. But what type of precedent does it set? Like, do we really want?
That means no one's ever going to change the background again, and if they do, they're going to death row. If it was anything worse, they'd probably be put on death row.
Well, also let's go with the premise that Florida is filled with old people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like this, they would probably see. Oh my God, that kid's a hacker.
More
He's
conservative.
gonna hack everything. Just for changing a background, because apparently he used an administrator
Yeah, but I mean,
password,
if all the
which is
people
probably
are-
like password.
Which
All
is
the
probably a
people are
bunch of
old.
ones and maybe a 2.
A lot of zeros.
Could be zeros. It could have been password.
But
That
if the
could have
people are
been
old, the
password.
only thing they're hacking away at is their lungs because they're dying. So it's
Ooh,
like
zing.
I just like so I don't maybe they
Alienating
misconstrue,
the old
you know.
audience.
I mean, like the old. I love you, old people. Trust me.
No,
You
we
guys
know
are
our
great.
demographic.
No, but it's just old people are wonderful in the sense that they can do whatever they want because their filter's like gone. They can just use the excuse, "Hey, I'm old. Go fuck yourself." And I'm just like,
What are you doing?
yeah, right.
Yeah,
That's basically what it boils down to.
I think I was joking with someone the other day, like, I can't wait to be old so I could, like, fake memory loss around you. Just be like, can you take out the trash? Where am I? This isn't them! Just do that.
That'd be very scary to deal with. I think.
It would be,
But
if it was
what about-
actually happening.
What about that?
Right,
saying?
he's saying he can reverse it whenever
Yeah,
he
but what
wants.
if you tell a lie long enough, you start to believe it? What if you really start thinking?
Believe you don't have a memory, but then you'd have
Believe
to.
I was
then
actually
you'd
meant
have
to be a NAM?
Then you'd have to forget that you were actually trying to not remember, and then you.
That seems like an awkward catch-22 right there.
That's a very awkward catch.
You'd
have
there's
to
no
function-
pitfall in my plan. Now I was just using this to get out of like trash duty.
I
when I'm
believe
80.
it's either in the Netherlands or Denmark. They actually have a treatment facility for patients with Alzheimer's where it's a fake village with fake shops and everything, so they can actually like pretend to
Oh,
live
I
their
heard about
lives,
that. Oh
my
but it's
God.
contained within it. So it's like
That is
it's like-
delightful.
I know all these other countries that spend money on healthcare do a really great job to like help their citizens, and it's a wonderful
Especially
place.
considering the medicine does, it's not the best.
Well, yeah, I mean, for Alzheimer's, you got
Yeah.
issues of adherence and all these different things.
Just that it doesn't
it's
work.
It's not as well understood because our brain is a whole enigma still. So
Yeah, I probably should have prefaced this entire episode with Gerard and Anthony are in pharmacy.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
They know all about drugs and
Well, not all. I mean,
Well,
right, we know
most.
something. At
If
least.
you
Good
want,
out.
well, you got to go to a street pharmacist for the other drugs. We know the legal drugs.
I mean, my knowledge of that is much more questionable than my knowledge of random factoids of things.
things you'd find on a Snapple
Still
cap.
got it.
Yeah, probably. I think it'd be great if we took Snapple 101, which some of my friends do take at other campuses. I would be fantastic.
Isn't there one of those that's like half of these are fake? You thought all these Snapple facts are real.
Oh yeah, I think I remember looking at
heard-
the website one time, just like, oh, test your Snapple fact knowledge, and then it's just like number 727, like giraffes' tongues are 6 feet long. I'm like, oh, that sounds like it would be on a Snapple cap. Wrong.
Wasn't fruit roll-up supposed to be like 6 feet long? Or maybe that was 3 feet.
No, I
Fruit
think
by
it's
the foot.
3 feet.
Oh, it's foot by the foot.
Fruit by the foot.
Oh, damn it. I thought it was
And
more
I
than
don't,
1 foot.
6
Was
feet of
3
fruit by
feet.
the foot is like seems pretty excessive. I think like bubble tape.
I'm not even 6
Add
feet
that.
tall. I'd be eating my height and over
Yeah,
my height.
wow, that's
and
pretty
fruit by the
crazy.
foot.
Your height and fruit roll-up.
No way, man. Like, let me get my 3 feet. Nobody is that short, unless they're kids, which kids probably gonna eat.
Yeah,
it.
kids would
You know,
probably eat
imagine
their
being a
entire-
kid and having all that fruit roll-up at your disposal.
No, I would not.
What would
know
you do?
I would
So
not
many
know what to
possibilities.
do.
I'd probably eat it, knowing me.
I mean,
I don't think I
that
would
too.
use it to measure out my
I think
treehouse.
that's what they intended, but maybe...
I don't think I would bandage up my broken leg.
Maybe
with
that's
it.
a way to identify who's going to be
it's
the future
okay.
doctors and construction workers. Give them a fruit roll-up. If they eat it, maybe they're a chef. Maybe they're a connoisseur. If they start bandaging their friends, a doctor. If they start measuring their treehouse, a construction worker. If they strangle someone, a criminal.
They start
So
measuring
it's
something
like,
else in
back
adult
in North
film
Dakota.
star. You know?
great
That's
thing,
why fruit by the
exactly
foot
it.
is banned in North Dakota.
Wait, it's actually banned there?
No, it is not.
I once wrote a speech about Nebraska and how The only people who go to Nebraska are people who lack imagination and want to die.
That is harsh.
I was going to say that would be Florida because you have Disneyland there to do the imagination
but that's like
for you.
First off, Disneyland's in California.
Man, we gotta visit.
Disney
Some,
World. Oh,
we gotta
sorry.
visit some of these
Sorry.
states before we say all this. I want to go to these places.
Dude, what's in Nebraska besides fields of corn?
I don't know. I'm not
Nothing.
there
More
right
corn?
now.
More corn.
That is
More
the
corn.
stereotype.
Roads.
That
They
I've
got
heard.
Lincoln.
I mean, all right. Sorry,
Bad.
the
Oh,
stereotypically.
so I assume they have infrastructure. But
I don't
think that's
mean to
it.
be statist, but I don't like
Statist.
a lot of these states just for the sake of what I've learned about them.
I think that's fair.
Learned or heard?
Heard, learned, same thing, right?
Is that not the same thing?
I mean, I guess.
Well, you
Like,
could
what do you
hear
know about
could
Wyoming?
hear something totally false and think you learned, but you actually didn't learn.
yeah, but then again, we boil down to like how much of our knowledge is actually verifiable and how
You're
much of it is
right.
based
You're
on other
absolutely
people.
right. Not everything's a clinical trial.
Yeah, I
And
know.
even
That,
that-
yeah, right. Even that's it's like
you.
there's this bias, but I want to go back to this article thing so we can inform these people of the news that we were supposed to be reporting on about this poor soul in Florida who wants to perform a
Well, when's he
potentially
getting?
harmless
When's he
prank.
getting charged? Is he like? Did
Uh,
this just happen, or is it like?
This happened a week ago. I don't think there was much to do. The whole article reads like an
'Cause
editorial.
they'll probably drop that case. Honestly, it's like a waste. Seems like a waste of time.
Yeah, I don't think there's any follow-ups with that. Yeah, he was suspended for school for 10 days and is also charged with an offense against a computer system and unauthorized access.
All right, so that offense makes sense.
It's like if somebody like hacks your Facebook stats.
oh, maybe that's
Felony.
I guess
Well,
that's
that's
the
exactly
felony
it.
is that
Right.
you're just hacking
That's
the
what
computer
that's what older
system.
people
It's not
think
hacking, though.
is.
See, but why didn't he
Yeah,
hack the
that's-
computer system to like change his grades? Like that kind of makes more sense. Why-
Then he would have probably gotten, more,
Yeah,
But
that
that
would
probably
actually
wouldn't
be
have
like a
been caught
problem.
as
But
easily.
okay, well, he's 14 years old. I don't think he thought that.
right,
far.
and he's also not
But,
a
like,
hacker. Like that's the other thing.
He probably guessed
But I'm
the
not a
right
rapper.
password.
But I'm not a rapper. That's true too.
Good lord.
We're not rappers.
So don't rap at us.
Podcast. We spit the head.
All right. You know what?
Listeners, you heard that.
Let's shift gears for a second. You know anyone who was in an online relationship?
No.
Like they met on a line for something, or like they were on the internet.
Let's just say it existed at least a couple of months on the internet. They could have
Okay.
met afterwards.
Because I mean, like if I'm online at Shake Shack, you looking fine. Then relationship, that's online.
That's. I guess it is a relationship. I mean, Shake Shack is a bonding experience. It's like a burger.
It's awesome.
You're talking about the Buddhist of burgers. It is. You bite into that, you achieve nirvana. You see the eightfold path unfold before you.
The eightfold path is each layer of the burger.
Oh, dude,
It
now
is
that's something that's got layers.
It is a convenient mecca for us New Yorkers to get to.
Oh, I love Shake Shack. When is it reopening? The one in Madison Park.
This summer, I believe.
I hope. I can't wait. That is.
That would be the best time.
For those
to
of you
open.
out there who never tried Shake Shack, you go to Shake Shack, you get the Shack Stack.
Go there.
It is
See,
quite an experience.
I had the regular burger the other day, and the regular burger is actually amazing.
Yeah, no, that's
Even
what
without the shroom.
But it's all about the shrooms.
No, I thought it was, but
I buckled down and I got this. I got the Shack Stack, and I'm like, you know what? I don't even like portobello mushrooms to
Then
begin
why
with.
would you get the Shack Stack?
Because it was everyone keeps saying
hyped.
get the Shack
Oh,
Stack.
that's like what is that? Masochistic? You're a sadist? Or no, masochistic because I don't like mushrooms. Let
But
me
you
get a
know what?
giant mushroom on
But
my
you know
burger.
yeah,
what?
because
It
it's
was
being hyped up.
I still was able to salvage it by just removing the portobello mushroom and having the burger.
Where did the portobello mushroom go?
Yeah, don't
Oh.
say the garbage, bro.
No, I think I gave it to a friend.
Okay.
It was just
All
like,
right,
you
good.
gonna eat
That's
that portobello
good.
mushroom?
That friend owes you a big
You
favor.
give friends those things.
You give friends portobellos. You give pigeons portobellos. You don't throw that in the trash.
That's true. Get the pigeons in.
The pigeons. They'll
Wait,
fly.
wouldn't they owe me a favor then?
Yeah, the pigeons would. They won't crap on your car for a week. That's a pretty good favor.
Those won't. Others will.
No,
So,
they
you
lot
won't.
of
know,
pigeons.
you know what pigeons I want to owe me a favor?
Yeah.
The
The good feathers.
There we go.
Good. Wait, what are the
The
good
good
feathers?
feathers.
From Animaniacs, it's like loosely based on
Oh yeah, yo,
Goodfellas.
Cool man, cool.
Are we?
No, you're not a clown.
What is?
I don't
What is
know.
going
I don't know
on
where
out
the
there?
random
I guess there's
shouting
other
is coming
people.
from.
I don't even know if that's actually.
We're not
a
crazy.
thing.
Let's preface this.
Yeah, well, we're not collectively
But so
hallucinating.
with online relationships, in Napoleon Dynamite, there's that guy. What was his name? Like
Oh,
Kip.
Kip.
Kip,
Kip.
yes.
What was
With
his
LaFonda.
girlfriend?
It's getting
LaFonda?
serious.
that was good. That was good, right? I like that.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah, I guess he had an online relationship.
He did.
So,
And then he
So
met her
for all of
and-
you people who have ever been leery about people having online relationships, your fears have been confirmed because in Portland,
that's a bit of
Oregon,
a stretch, but
a woman has been arrested and charged with assault after she allegedly beat her longtime online boyfriend over the head with a bat at their first face-to-face meeting.
Did he like online cheat on her or something? Like, how does that work?
No, I read this article beforehand. Apparently, she did not, she didn't communicate at all that she did not want to be in this relationship anymore.
So what-
So when they met face to face, she told him, "Close your eyes." He was expecting a surprise. back of the head, slam.
That's one hell of a surprise. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
What
like the surprise of your life.
Is he all
right there.
right?
Yeah,
Is he okay?
Yeah, he got some stitches and
I
like
thought
a
he was
fractured
dead.
skull.
Oh, I thought he was
the way that this article read was like, oh god, is he dead? But she only got charged with assault. She didn't like.
That's it.
murder.
She didn't get the felony, and this
But
other
is he?
kid
Wait,
did.
so he's not dead?
No, he's
No,
not
he's
dead.
alive.
Oh, that's good. At least, geez.
He got 9
Well,
staples
he's
to
still
the
my
head
beating
from
heart.
his
That's
fractured
actually
skull. But she just smashed him in the back of the head.
Maybe she was just playing a lot of like Super Smash Brothers and just forgot that she wasn't Ness and just went for that, that up smash, whatever that is.
MLB 2K11.
You got a lot of explaining in court on that one.
That's like T-ball.
I heard of
actually.
Grand Theft Auto inspired crimes, but that is something else.
Yeah, Super Smash Bros.
Super Smash Bros. Inspired
You
crimes.
get to smash a bro. What's more to want?
She clearly Nintendo has some issues with their online play, so she took it to another level and wanted to really play online with the
Ooh.
person, and she hit
he
him
didn't
upside the
own
back
the-
of the head with a baseball bat. I mean, that's like I guess on a list
Home
of
run,
things,
you win the match.
she knocked it out of the park. But like, I guess
Game set.
that was really good. Out of
Melee.
out of certain things that I would not expect, that's still somewhat expected. You kind of always expect from like an online person you might have the risk of
Well, you would expect it
getting
to be
beaten
like
by something.
yeah. Well, you would expect like something like this would be like out of catfishing. Like, oh, maybe he looks like.
Wait, what's catfishing?
That TV show where they
No, go ahead.
it's like that TV show where they find all these online predators, and they basically it's all right. So are you familiar? It's not exactly the same, but
Is it like Dateline?
to catch a predator,
Oh, okay.
where they like bait all these people, and then they
Yeah, it's instead of like predators, it's just like you know how people sometimes lie about their profile pictures.
right.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
the
this is
Facebook
me after
angles
I've
and
been
MySpace
working
angles.
out, and like in reality,
It's
you're like
like-
some 300-pound guy. Like, oh yeah, my profile picture looks different. Like these people just kind of like lie about it.
But that's a little messed up. I will not lie. If you don't want the relationship to continue, I mean, it's online. I don't imagine it's that hard to.
Yeah,
break it
especially
off.
well, you would try to avoid like meeting
Talking
face
to
to face
someone.
as much as possible.
You could probably block them or something.
Well, some people too. They feel like it's easier to talk through a computer because think about it.
God,
A
yeah.
lot of the social intimidation, whatever that may, I get anxious from time to time.
Yeah,
but
no,
like
I agree.
all that intimidation from an in-person conversation is no longer there. You can say whatever you're whoever you want to be online.
Can you be a hot grill?
You can't be a hot grill.
Sure, man. If you can convince somebody enough that a hot girl knows how to type, what the hell?
Or what's that new thing? Like I'm on an Apache attack helicopter. I sexually identify as an Apache attack helicopter, and ever since I was a little kid, I've wanted like missiles and machine guns attached to my arms. That's the thing that's been running around. I forget it's on Reddit or one of those websites, and it's been ridiculous.
I guess
And
that
it's
seems like a
hilarious.
parody. Very
Oh,
much.
absolutely! It's
I've never
hilarious.
seen that.
You gotta read
sounds
it. It's so
I
funny.
That's
I
hilarious.
identify as an Apache attack
attack
helicopter,
helicopter.
which also goes to show like a lot of the things that we remember our Native American brethren as are involved in guns. Or like Tomahawk missiles, Apache attack helicopters, Navajo World War II
Yeah,
code
just,
talk.
just,
It's like all of
just
it.
keep reminding them of the weapons that people would have used on them if it was like that
I
time.
know it's really sad, and like
It
I
is.
guess they'll never
I
get to
know,
that
it's a
point
terrible
because
tribute.
we've isolated them off in reservations and thrown them free booze and cigarettes. But
And now casinos. Actually,
Yeah, casinos.
weirdly enough, I actually saw the episode of South Park the other day where like
Oh yeah.
they gambled away all their homes in the Indian
Wait,
casino.
homes?
Yeah, their homes.
oh okay,
I put my house up as collateral with I like the guy that owns the casino is like Chief Runs with Premise.
That's a great
Your
name.
son Premise running thin.
That's
is
actually
sick.
that's actually really cool. I would love to have like an Indian chief name. Like, what would be a cool Indian chief name to have?
Runs with burritos.
Runs with burritos. That seems like a normal Taco Bell experience, though. Like, I don't understand. That's not.
Oh, no,
what
that's
you
the
need.
afterwards. That's the
yeah,
after experience.
you get runs with burritos. The only place you can get gas for $1.08. And that's. I mean, Taco Bell has gone crazy with their new grilled chicken, crispy chicken stuff. I think like crack chicken. They took like a KFC turn of events here.
You know, it's
very
weird.
tasty.
Taco Bell has maybe the same 10 ingredients, so when they throw a new one into the mix, they basically beat that shit to death.
But it's awesome.
Because
However,
it's all they have.
for
I
those
mean, they're
Taco
just
Bell
like-
people listening in on this, I don't know why you just get to do the beefy crunch wrap. That was like the beefy crunch burrito has to be one of the greatest things that this side of the earth has ever experienced, and I don't understand why it was limited because I want them back. Taco Bell's like the only
Shout
fast
out
food
to you,
thing.
Taco Bell.
Yeah,
Bring
shout
it
out to you,
back.
Taco Bell. Bring back
Bringing
the
it
beefy
back.
crunch. throwbacks to that. And but yeah, so
throwbacks to the volcano stuff, man.
What the hell's the volcano stuff?
The lava sauce, the volcano taco, volcano burrito. It was like a super spicy
really
sauce
spicy.
that they put in with a burrito and a red shell taco.
I'm a fan of spice. I love spice. It's not really spicy.
Do you still
until
have that
start
crazy sauce that
Oh
you
yeah,
gave
absolutely.
me some of?
So I got a
Do
bottle
you
of
use
hot-
that for anything?
every once in a while when I'm in the mood to like cry. But so I found this bottle of hot sauce at this random fair upstate in New York. There's this fair well, it's not random, I guess. It's the Dutchess County Fair, and they have like a lot of homey foods. And oh my god, it has some of the best beef jerky. You hang out, you get like souvenirs, like cowboy hats, everything. They have like cool shows and all like a lot of antiques. And some of the best stuff I got there was this hot sauce, which I tried some, and it was definitely synthetically made. I actually had to sign a waiver to buy the hot sauce, and I have to inform people of taking it that they might be violently hurt. So it's intense. You put a little on a toothpick, and that will really send you crying. I don't even think you can taste anything if you actually put it on food.
No, it doesn't taste like anything. It's just spice.
Yeah, but that's like that adds variety to life. It's just like it's just so powerful. Sometimes you really just want to kick in your mouth.
Not that day, man. You gave me a tooth. You're like, here's a tooth. Just take a toothpick. That's all you need. Put it on my tongue. Explodes. No amount of that little amount of sauce should not feel that way.
Well, yeah,
but it does.
It's just I hunt down different things that are spicy and I mix them with random other spicy things, and it's really awesome. I don't taste the food anymore though. That's the problem.
No, I didn't taste it. That's why you're like, oh, you're done with your food. Good, because I have something for you.
Right? No, because you can't taste anything after. It's like a certain.
It took like a good half hour for that to wind down.
Yeah, the half-life of that is pretty insane.
Beer helped.
I mean.
Is there any point to that hot sauce now?
Yeah, the point is
it's like you own it.
To question your life decisions. That's what I said there because it was like a $14 bottle of hot sauce, and it's not that big.
Are either of you two like Doritos?
Yeah. Oh my God, there was a Dorito, a fiery fusion.
Man, this is
fiery fusion Dorito.
All the stores we've looked for this thing.
I have been trying to look. Back when I used to work for a wonderful organization that I will not name, I used to dispense medications.
We'll call it Silfco.
And as I was working there during my breaks, I would love to go there to grab these purple bag Doritos. Not the sweet and spicy chili, because that's a poser. Everyone always thinks I'm talking about the sweet and spicy chili, but no. I'm talking about the fiery fusion habanero cayenne deliciousness, where one chip could send you like crying. And it was amazing.
Oh, it was like that spicy?
Oh, it was so good. And I just sit there during my break. I'd bite a chip. I'd offer it to my coworkers. They'd scream in agony. And it was just fantastic. I loved that. And then after a few months.
Now that's the reward.
After a few months, it was just gone. They never said anything about it. There's I looked it up on their website. There's one deli in all of Long Island that carries it. And I haven't ventured there yet.
Still carries it?
Supposedly.
See, I think with those things, they're so spicy that people don't quite know what they're in for.
I love it.
No, you love it. But this is you. I know you can't see me, listeners, but I'm pinching my fingers together and there's no room in between them. And the circle, now I've created a circle with my hands. This is everyone else. And maybe that's why there's only one deli. So, the people who really like it...
I would pay to get, directly shipped
No,
to my house.
I agree with you. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. You're not wrong for liking it, but I think because so many people couldn't handle the heat, that's why they
shouldn't be in the...
You're right. They shouldn't be in the kitchen.
So,
you're absolutely
what we've been
right.
trying to do is every time we go to any store that sells chips, it's part of my ritual to go check and see if there may be a lone fiery fusion hiding amongst this Serengeti of chippertry.
Did we check? Did we check everywhere around here?
We've checked everywhere around here. There's always at the purple. When I see the purple, I get a little bit excited. Then I see it's a sweet and spicy chili, and my hope just dies. It's like reading the ending of 1984 over and over again. It's just not a fun experience.
Well, I remember that's actually my experience with sour Starburst. Do you remember when that was actually?
Oh, yeah. I do remember that.
Yeah, cannot find them anywhere. And then you know what? I have this urge for sour Starburst. I need to have them in my mouth. Where can I find it? And I look on Amazon. There's a guy selling them for $50 a pack.
Now it's a relic, man.
Now that's a relic. That is vintage.
That's also probably the same guy who sells Crystal Pepsi and all those other.
Probably.
Other
But
odd
I was
products.
actually saying, I didn't know about the fiery fusion. I was going to say they just made a straight-up habanero flavor. And I'm like...
It's probably close, but that fiery fusion, I don't know what science
that sounds even hotter.
Pfizer, if you're looking for some good people, you go to the Doritos factory, you get those flavor makers.
Those chemists, man.
They can design you a drug.
They'll make any dosage form palatable.
Oh, my God.
They can make somebody eat a suppositor. I'm sure someone's tried that anyway.
They definitely have tried eating
suppositories.
But,
that it would even...
Kind of like how the directions on deodorant might be a little bit misleading, like push up bottom.
Took me a second, but now I know I wouldn't make that mistake.
Neither would I.
That's the difference between us and the people that did make that mistake. I'm
Yes.
sorry for those who made that mistake.
Yeah, I remember eating the
Not
habanero
really.
chips, and I'm like, you know what? This isn't even. I'm not tasting food. This is like an endurance test.
Yeah,
honestly,
he
It's
who
not
runs
even-
with spice.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
runs
reminds
He
me.
who runs with
So,
spice.
there is something else, and the next time you guys are at one, I was at a Buffalo Wild Wings a couple of weeks ago.
I've only been there once.
They have a deal by the one on Atlantic in Brooklyn where
Okay.
it's 60 cents a wing on Thursdays.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Why Thursdays?
I don't boneless Thursdays.
Oh yeah, boneless Thursdays. That's
Boneless
right. That's when I
Thursdays.
went.
So
I went
this
down
You're
to
talking
Thursday-
about this as like an intuitive
probably
thing. Like boneless
going there,
Thursdays.
but my point
It's
is,
so intuitive. It's
my point is,
Where else would you have boneless wings?
Boneless.
You can't have boneless Wednesdays because Wednesdays is like Wednesday.
It's a structure, man. It's
a
the
structure.
week.
So
I mean,
like,
Mondays are already crappy, so you're never gonna have boneless Monday.
no,
you're not gonna
make
have
it
any-
less crappy. Boneless Mondays, free beer Mondays. That'd be
Free
great.
beer Mondays
How
would be
how
great.
great would Mondays be?
Very disruptive.
Very true.
Disruptive. Yes.
Continue. Don't mean to
But
interrupt.
no, it's fine. So they have on the menu a spiciness scale, and you can go all the way up to where the little ball goes red, and it's really because it starts out green, lime green, green yellow,
Okay, all right. We
yellow,
get it, we get it,
So it goes all the way to really
Blends up
red,
to red.
To red. And I tried the second hottest one for the third,
was it
mango habanero. I tried the first one. It's not so bad. It's not the first one.
It's the
You
commu-
keep
cumulative
eating them.
upkeep, right?
There was
That
like
spice
six.
that
There's like
keeps
six of
going.
them.
It's a
Kept
delayed
eating them. By the
reaction.
time the fifth one hit, I'm like, shit, my mouth's on fire.
You know what my actual favorite flavor is that I tried? The
What?
Parmesan garlic there.
That's
Those are
good.
delicious.
Yes.
It's awesome.
I mean, I've only been there
I
once.
like the
I gotta
jerk.
go
The
back.
jerk chicken one is good.
The fried
Caribbean
pickles are
jerk.
really good too.
Fried pickles
They
are good.
got
The
a,
mushrooms are good too.
Okay, so another like wing place, Hurricane Wings.
Never
Hurricane
heard of
Grill.
it. Nope.
Okay,
never yet.
there's this place that my brothers go to all the time. It's absolutely crappy service. The last time I was there, we waited like an hour and a half just for wings. We all ordered wings.
You know, it's like,
There's
that's
no
like every
reason for wings to taste that
experience
long.
at the Cheesecake Factory I've been to.
But that one's like
I mean,
a
at least you
gourmet
get the
diner.
diner.
You're abs-
Correct. Good. It's a gourmet diner.
It's a gourmet diner.
I,
yeah.
I would not classify it as a gourmet restaurant.
It is not.
It's a
It is
diner with
Good.
cheesecake.
Get
It is
enormous,
pretty good.
enormous
Yeah.
portions.
They give you that cool buzzy thing, so at least like you're always
Like
waiting.
Shake Shack
yeah, but
does.
Shake Shack actually rings the buzzer in a reasonable time frame.
Oh, they're like an hour.
For Cheesecake
dude.
Factory,
Yeah.
you're sitting there and you can't
like
make
an hour.
reservations because I don't know some game that they play with you.
Because
Yeah,
it's a
I tried
diner.
getting reservations for my girlfriend's birthday. Like, we don't do reservations. Like, why?
So I don't understand.
It's
I
crowded
don't understand
every
that we
damn
don't do
time.
reservations. Yeah, that's like a poor attitude for customer service. You're talking about poor customer service. That's like the Starbucks line at 4 p.m. here. You have one worker making 15 different drinks at once. You're
Yeah,
sitting-
but that's not
The
the
only way
worker's
that I could-
fault, dude.
no.
Like,
You're looking,
that's-
yeah, but you're looking at some.
The only way I
management
can
issues right there.
rationalize it
Looking at
with
a 30
the
minute-
Cheesecake Factory that I
That's
go to
true.
is because it's right outside of a mall, so you already get
Well, so is the
stragglers.
There's only two of them that I know of. One's
Yeah.
at the Roosevelt Field, one's at the Huntington.
There's one in the Smith Haven Mall, like near where I live.
Oh,
But that's
there's
like even farther out from
Oh,
me.
it's even okay.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Oh,
There's
we-
3 Cheesecake Factories on Long Island.
Well,
It's probably more.
Yeah.
And if
Wow.
you got a computer at
A lot of
home, check
factories.
it out.
Okay. What was it? Hurricane Grill. Okay, so
Yeah, my bad.
yeah, so they got like a spectrum of wings. My favorite one, called Fire and Ice, actually. It's got like horseradish sauce. Yeah, which you wouldn't even think about it, but like, hey, there's that. I think the main point of my story was that the service sucks, but it was supposed to.
I
be
mean,
about the
yeah,
wings.
there's been like there's been a bunch of places with sucky service, and actually, there was a restaurant that I will not name where I had a terrible experience with a burger. I ordered my burger medium rare, and it came Sahara dry. Like I'm talking, you could taste the sand. In
I
this
don't
burger.
know what place this is, but I know the story.
And the problem of this night too was I
This
was
is a
already in
good
a bad
story.
mood because I had my anatomy final the next day, and it was coincidentally my sister's birthday on this night. So I guess my family wanted to go celebrate. And I was all down to celebrate, but they're like, "Hey, let's go to Long Beach." I'm like, "We can't go somewhere like down the block. We can't wait till after my final stuff." Like, nope, got to go to Long
Wait a
Beach.
minute.
You
I
got
know
to
what
go to
you're
this
talking
place.
about.
You got to go to this place.
Really?
It's fantastic.
Oh, yeah, I
I'm
know
like,
what you're talking
Are
about.
you serious? So we go there because they have like this pretzel appetizer, and this pretzel appetizer. It's just like, when you like bread at certain restaurants or normal restaurants, you get bread. They give you pretzels with mustard. And I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. Pretzel with mustard. Everyone likes that. So, it's a classic.
Very true.
It's good. I mean, the best part of it was they were playing some good music in the restaurant. But then I was like sitting there. I was already a little bit agitated. I wanted to study my notes. I want to have my final the next day. I'm just like, the only saving grace would be a nice, succulent burger. Order it medium rare. You can't go further than that. Maybe medium. Once you get past medium, you start getting into crazy land.
Just
Start ordering your burgers in Florida.
It's
at
like
that
you're
point.
out of Flavor Town.
Right, exactly. Oh, God.
You're on the
Don't even get
outskirts
me
of
on
Flavor
that.
Town.
Don't even get me on
Let's
that guy.
let's not
Let's start
with
that
this.
again.
Let us not open that
When
can
this
of
burger
worms.
came back, that was it. Night was done. That place was horrible, and I was just
Listen,
so sad.
It's not for burgers. I know what you're talking about, and it's not about the burgers, my dude.
All right, that's. So
You need a
know.
second opinion.
All right, so I will give the place a second opinion. I will not get their burger.
Going there this summer.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great.
No, I said we are. We're all going.
Absolutely, I've been down.
Oh, I'll do it.
You know, I had mentioned Starbucks before, and this is a classic story.
My bad.
This is a classic story that we have that I've shared with you guys. When I used to work at that lovely organization, I had to deal with a lot of customers for long shifts, and sometimes the customers would be irate, and sometimes they wouldn't be. Understandable, they're sick. They want to get their meds.
Shift happens.
Yes.
Continue.
Shift happens.
Continue.
So one of my coworkers explained to me, and I, as an avid fan of coffee, I would normally partake in Starbucks
That's a
drinking.
good story.
So my coworker explained, have you ever had the red eye? And I go, no. What is that? And I sat and listened in childish wonder as she explained, well, the red eye is a cup of coffee, and we put 2 shots of espresso in it. And I'm like, can you get that double? She's like, that's like 4 shots of espresso. I'm like, I know.
Plus coffee.
Plus the coffee.
Plus Starbucks coffee.
So I got a double red eye, which is already off the. This is like an off the menu Starbucks item. Now, I don't know if you listeners can tell, but I'm a very quick talker to begin with. I can speak very quickly. When I get dosed up on the caffeine,
Please tell me you're transcending
when
time.
I hit the C, there's no coming back. That coffee hit my system. And, caffeine takes about 20, 30 minutes to get in. So I drink it. I don't think anything of it. I'm sitting there. Next thing I know, I'm counting pills like the Flash. I'm sitting there, 5, 10, 15, 20, boom, 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 boom. I'm shooting them into the bottles. I'm labeling at the speed of lightning. I get thrown on registered duty. What I did to these poor customers, they came up to me. I would start talking like crazy. Anything they had. Oh, you're reading Time Magazine? Oh my God, Time Magazine is amazing. Look at that article on page 33. It's about twins. It's really cool. The DNA combinations between them, what they like, and everything about the similarities. They're like Reese's Pieces, my favorite candy. And I just keep speaking around. I'm like, oh, you're gonna pay with a Visa? I have a Visa card in my pocket. I want to say, hey, look, it's it. Yeah. And I'm just going crazy with this caffeine for 3 hours straight. I am bouncing off the wall. People are looking at me with their eyes are bugging out. My eyes are bugging out. I'm handing them meds. They're just giving me dollars to put in the register. That's what I normally do. But it was so fun for me. I was like, whoa. Then all of a sudden the crash hit. I collapsed in aisle 3. That was it. I was done. That was my experience of the one and only time I had a double shot red eye. And let me tell you, it is a hell of a drink.
Holy crap.
I got hyped up from listening to that.
I know. My heart is
contagious.
starting to race. I feel like I just ran a marathon.
I just had a cup of coffee this morning. That already had me going. I stopped drinking it for a while, and then when you go back to it after you're off of it for a while, you forget what it even did in the first place. You're like, shit, I'm wired. Shit.
It is a hell of a drug.
Just running around the mall today, I started sweating. I was like, damn, gotta exercise.
You went to the mall today?
Yeah, I walked up. It was nice.
Which mall?
The one on, if y'all are from Brooklyn, it was at King's Plaza today. It was right off of Flatbush.
Awesome.
It's not too far from
Was
my
it
house.
crowded at the time you went?
No, not terribly. It was middle of the day.
I've always found
It was just real nice out.
Yeah,
It's like I
Rodeo
wanted
is
always
to
crowded.
walk somewhere,
Yeah.
and I was just like, you know what?
No matter what.
I'm gonna walk there.
That's actually a good idea. Malls are fun to walk around.
We'll walk to there, in around it, and then I walk
Oh,
back
I'm sorry.
home.
I didn't know I was speaking to a Floridian here. Jesus.
Oh my God!
That's
No,
such
that was
an
very
old lady.
Arizonian of you to comment on that.
That is such an old
Listen.
person thing to say.
You're acting like you're from North
Let's
Dakota right now.
Let's go to the mall and walk around
I'm gonna
and see
kick
the
you in the breast.
sights.
Don't brandish that at me. Get that weapon away.
That was pretty good. I like that. I like that pun, the brandish. That's clever.
I just said brandish. I wanted to use brandish.
Well, I mean, like brands, North Dakota, cow,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that was good. I like that. So back to this article with
Oh yeah.
Oh,
with
wow.
online relationships. I don't know if I could bring. I'm bringing us back to track because I don't know if the train's destination is to go there. I mean,
It's cool. You want to be the
This
It's
train's
conductor?
more, like,
going.
Go ahead.
it's more like the Disney monorail, where it's just kind of like, it goes back.
oh, my favorite part of the monorail was how it repeats like, "Please stay clear of the closing door." Yendo a la de las puertas. I love that part
Did I-
because I used to ride the
Wait,
monorail
this
so
is-
many times. It would say it.
That reminds me of this. All right, so I was on the B train one time going to Manhattan. And the B train is an older train. It doesn't have all those fancy electronic destination things on the top of the train. It just has a conductor, an old-fashioned conductor. But usually the speaker systems on these trains are shot. So one morning, I'm going to Penn Station on this B train. Doors close. Train's about to leave. I think nothing of it. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. That wasn't an intercom. I look over. There's this guy just standing by the door. I'm like, all right. You're going to do that? All right, so we get to the next stop. This is DeKalb Avenue. Transfer to... He knew the whole thing for every stop.
That's amazing.
It was hilarious.
Wow.
That guy's like, he's the unsung hero of the beach train.
It was the funniest thing I've ever heard. I was like,
I wanna be him.
That's the only thing I've ever seen on the subway where I'm like, damn, that's funny.
That actually is really awesome. That's
was-
a very
that was
clever
great.
approach. And
That
it's also
is-
like
Yes.
useful funny.
People
too.
were like, people didn't know whether to laugh at him or just. I'm just like, he knows
I would've
it
thanked him
back.
because I have no
He
idea how
knows
to
it
back the
back
train.
because
Sure.
let me remind you, there's nothing on that train saying where you can get off, transfer to, nothing. It's just the stop. You look out. Oh, that looks like maybe where I
Plus,
should
if
get
you're
off.
bored with your friends, you should just kind of like mouth along with it. Just this is Wall Street.
This
Like,
is
you just,
West 4th Street.
you just like mouth along with it, but like there's nothing actually saying it on those trains.
Even the in between announcements. Don't throw garbage on the track. Track fires can be decreased. He knew every
That's
little
fantastic.
factoid.
That-
Like it was oh man.
Did you like leave him some change or something? Please
No,
tell
he
me
wasn't.
had, like, a
He
hat.
wasn't collecting anything. He was just standing there and doing it.
Wow, what a kind soul. Just collecting your appreciation.
Yeah, right.
That was a good
And your laughter.
day.
That's a great day.
It was a great morning.
You know what I want to do, like
great
on a train sometime. You know how some people they come onto a train, start begging. There's like, "Excuse me, I'm sorry for interrupting your day" or something like that. I want to do that and then just talk about, dude, my day was great. Listen, I'm okay. I just came back from my job and I don't hate it, and I'm going back to my family. And you know what? Who here is having a good day? Just kind of like just hype people up.
Are you going to be like the Oprah of trains and you get a compliment and you get a compliment and you get a compliment?
Yeah. No, I just wanna like throw that out there. Just people are like, ugh, this guy's gonna beg for money. I'll be like, no, I'm having a good day.
What if
I
you
would,
gave
like-
them money? Like reverse begging. I guess that'd be called giving.
Yeah, that would be called giving. let's not use a buzzword for giving. How reverse begging.
Reverse begging.
You know what? You need this money more than I do. I'm not asking you, dude. I know, but here you are.
You want
Here's
the
a 20.
You want the sandwich? Want the sandwich? Here, have the sandwich. I don't want it.
Yeah, you give it.
I don't want it.
It's okay. It's okay. You want some gum? Take the sandwich too. Have a shaky little can of change, just kind of like just pouring into people's pockets.
You want some? You want some?
Yeah, you gotta fill it with like quarters and silver dollars.
You got to bring like 3 dogs on the train with you and start shaking that shit.
Oh, the dogs start barking?
Oh yes, they will. They
Oh,
hate
no.
that more. You could. All right, so you could walk. I'm never actually going to do this because I'm considerate, but I've
Thank
thought
you.
about going down my block at about 3 in the morning with just. There's a lot of little dogs in my block. So if you take a can of change, you start shaking it, those things are going to start barking no matter where they
That
are.
is so horrible.
Yes, because they
Poor
can
dogs,
they
poor
can eat
people.
like
Actually,
I agree. The sound of shaking change is annoying, but something about that bothers them so much.
I think it's
So
a
much.
hypersensitive ears thing. You
Yes,
know what?
it is,
I'm,
but-
I'm actually surprised that with that idea and with that knowledge in mind, there hasn't been like a hostage begging situation. It's
Well,
kinda
like,
the
I'm
guys.
gonna shake this can.
I'm gonna shake this can. These dogs are gonna go crazy.
Oh,
unless
the
you fill up
dogs are
this
going to
can.
go crazy unless you
The
fill it
dogs are
up.
gonna go-
But the weird thing is,
You
if
have a
you
baby
fill it
over
up,
there?
I'm going to start shaking it.
You see that baby over there? Huh? It would be a shame if that thing started crying. Luckily, barking dogs are just the trick. Shh, 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 and just like hold it out to people. They're like
it's-
frantically looking for change.
If he's shaking it, it's full of change. So, like, what does he really need? He's got what he wants. Unless it's rocks. Or unless he's looking for dollars. Dollars, that's like moving up.
Oh yeah, that would actually make a lot more sense. Just not full can. I'm gonna shake this. Just dollars. Dollars are quiet. Dollars are not going to
Yeah,
rustle.
don't
dogs.
give me coins. Give me them dollar bills.
I already have coins. And right now, you're going to see what those coins can do.
You know, with great power comes great responsibility. So, you gotta be careful who you hand your
So
coins
just
to.
don't be Spider-Man. You don't have to worry about that.
I mean, we're not talking about Spider-Man. We're talking about people with coins and cans
it's
and dollars.
it's just what I think.
I'm pretty
of
sure
when I hear
Peter
that
Parker
quote.
had change on him at one point.
I think
quote.
everyone has a little bit of change in them.
Let me dip something in you, because that was cheesy.
God damn the two of them.
You know, I mean, my dad actually once he topped the puns one time. I forgot. We were driving in the car, and something happened, and he got annoyed, and he just like drove, and he was like, "That's it, you're driving me to drink," as he parked in front of a liquor store, and I was like, "Dad, that was so bad." And it
Was
just-
he like angry, or was he like?
He was
silly?
just being like semi-serious, semi.
Oh, that's funny.
The best was like one time I forgot once again what I did in the car, but he got so annoyed at me. He's like, "That's it, you're paying for college for that one," and I was like, "Geez, that's a bit of a threat right there."
That's heavy.
I know
That's
it is.
heavy.
That's really heavy. It's deep. It's like deep in your pockets too. It's like, wow. Jeez, Dad.
like, wow, man.
I'm sorry. My apologies. please let me home at night.
Trade school it is. Trade school it is.
No, yeah, you go to the trade school, or with the minimum wage increase potentially for
What is it
McDonald's
right now?
to $15.
See, like, I get
yeah,
paid
yeah,
$15.
yeah.
If that's the case, I'm just going to work at McDonald's.
Oh yeah, dude, why flip burgers and you could flip pills?
Yeah, I just got.
No, other way
why flip
around.
pills when you can flip
Why?
burgers?
Why would I deal with the bullshit that I deal with and then not do that if
I was
knew
hanging
I
out
was
with
going
a
to get the
friend
same
earlier.
amount of money?
She works at Stop and Shop. She told me she makes like $9 an hour, like on Sundays, like specifically on Sundays. Saturdays is like $8, and I'm like, oh Jesus, I have a salary. Let me buy you dinner.
Yeah, no, I mean that's great. Like I honestly, it'd be awesome if McDonald's wages increases and then everything else increases.
Yes, everything else should
That
increase
would be
if
great.
that's what's going to happen.
If
but
McDonald's
it's
gets
not
paid
going to.
15, a pharmacy intern should get paid 40, a pharmacist should get paid 150. I mean,
then
I'm
we have the
jumping
same
a little bit more, but
I think
fine,
if that
man.
happened, I think like 10 years down the line, it's like we need a living wage of, like, I guess what do pharmacists make? $40? We want that. Like I think it's you need a living wage. Of course you do, but it's like
yeah, but I mean, like I guess I don't know.
I
Maybe
think
it's just
McDonald's
me.
is kind of a poor
I have like a
example.
fascination with being like a mailman for some reason.
Maybe
I
you
just
follow your
think like
dreams.
like on a nice day like today, you walk around, you put some mail in people's boxes, you hang out, you get to enjoy the weather, you kind of whistle a tune to yourself.
I feel like the 50s mailman and the mailman of today would have a very interesting conversation about whose job is
Reminds me of
happier.
the dude from Hey Arnold. I hate the snow. I hate the snow. I hate the snow.
I hate
Oh, I
the
hate the
rain.
rain.
I hate sleep.
I love how that's the one thing you remember about him. I remember.
No, he was a
I
good
can remember
he was a
that
cool
and like
character, but
a couple of other scenes from him, and that's it.
Well, I just remember the snow thing because every time like it snows, one of us brings that up.
Yeah, it's
Was he voiced by someone famous? Like
I
how Chef
wanna-
from South Park was like Isaac Hayes.
Yeah, I want to
Wait,
say
who's Isaac Hayes?
he's a soul singer from the 70s.
Oh, I do not
Yeah,
know.
Hello
Have you-
there, children.
Have you ever heard the theme from Shaft?
No.
Oh man, that is
No, I
that is
haven't.
one of the most epic songs, man.
I got a lot of things to look up after this.
I think you
conversation.
do. I think you do.
It's gonna be great.
More make love to you, woman.
That was Chef.
Isaac Hayes, yeah. Well,
that
that
was
was
Chef.
like Isaac Hayes singing Chef, but
Because I feel like even though like Hey Arnold was like what Inner City Kids.
Yeah.
it was like based on 4 different cities. But yeah, like inner city kids, like
Yeah.
Detroit, New York.
I feel like now that I think about it, the mailman kind of seemed a bit out of place.
No, I think he seemed in place.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a mailman in the
cool.
city.
I think he just kind of like showed up every once in a while.
Yeah, but he had like some little, words of wisdom, a package or two. It's
Because
like-
I know like what was it? One of the characters was like going through puberty or something, and they were like in a choir,
yeah, that was
and he just kind of like showed
What
up
was
at the
his
end, just
name?
kind of like Gerald.
Gerald,
It was,
yeah.
Ger-
Oh,
it was Gerald.
Gerald. And he had like a really good voice, but then he's like a lower.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and like the he came in the back after the show. It was just like he did it not as good. He did it actually kind of crappy now that I think about it. And it's just like, oh, everyone loved him for that.
It was all about.
No, he
Mr.
did it really well. I think he
What
just
was-
didn't know how his voice was going to sound because the mailman had a really deep voice. And he's
Yeah.
like, "Listen, Gerald, you don't gotta always sound like that. You could sound like this." And then I think he like showed him a song or something, and then like his eyes get big, and then he's like, "I know what I'm doing at the concert." And then instead of being all scratchy, he just went lower instead of trying to go higher.
Hannah had some awesome songs like "I Saw Your Face and Wow."
Right
Da-
then I took
da-
a
da-
bath. Yeah, I remember that.
There's,
Or like
that
Mr.
country
What was it?
song,
Was it Mr. Wynn?
Mr. Wynn.
With like
It's like
the-
a really good
"Well, it's a
country.
simple thing.
Yeah, that was
He
Randy
had a really
Travis.
good country. He had a
Yeah,
really
that was
good
Randy
country
Travis
voice.
right there. I remember that. That was like the big thing when I first found out about it because like my mom was big into Randy Travis. So like, oh wow, I actually know what my mom was talking about.
And then Dino Spumoni.
Dino Spumoni.
Dino
Frank
Spumoni.
Sinatra.
Yeah, this is the Frank Sinatra ripoff. Where I think like every episode with Dino
Bye-bye.
Spumoni could basically be boiled down to, I'm a jerk and I'm leaving. No, wait, I'm actually not.
Yeah, that's actually pretty accurate. I just
I'm
know
a
that
jerk and
Spumoni
I'm
is like an awesome.
Forget it,
ice cream
Arnold. I
flavor.
ain't singing no more. I'm washed up.
End of the episode. Hey, thanks for bringing me back to the stage, Arnold. Couldn't have done it without you.
Dino Spumoni.
Dino Spumoni.
That was-
Dino
That's our thing.
Spumoni. Like you got to say it like really exclamatory.
That was,
It's Dino Spumoni.
what a great character.
That was good.
What a well written
Stoop
character.
kid, afraid to leave his stoop.
That was like one episode,
But
and
it
people
was
like
like-
remember that
because
for
it was-
years.
That was like all he did. It's so absurd.
Yeah, like stoop kid
It's
and
like they
monkey
made it
man.
like this kid lived on the stoop. He didn't leave. He didn't eat. He just lived on the stoop.
I don't even think that was even relatable. Do you know someone who was like
No.
stoop kid? Do you know
I mean, I
anyone
used
who
to, I
never
used to
left their
sit on
stoop?
stoops when I was a kid and like.
I think
trade
that's why
Pokemon
everyone
cards.
remembers it. It was
Yeah.
so
Dude,
crazy.
stoops were like the hangout. There'd always be one kid's house who had like the awesome
don't
set of
even
stoops.
remember
That's
that.
true.
Possibly a deck, and then you'd hang around there. You'd bust out the radio with the extension cord. you'd play some like songs on that, or the battery radio. I mean, whatever radio you had access to, and like it'd be awesome. You just used to sit around.
I mean, excuse me for being from suburbia.
You get some Mr. Softy ice cream. I mean, I'm also from like relative suburbia too. So after a nice game of roller hockey on the street.
You lost me.
Oh, you never played?
You're losing me.
Well, that was like, we'd hang out on the stoop.
We played football and basketball.
We'd play hockey, we'd hang on the stoop, we'd hang
after
around.
After we were done kicking an old piece of rope.
Oh, man. What about all that tumbleweed?
It's
I don't
not the
even
Wild
remember what
West,
we were originally
man.
talking about. What was the main topic of this news?
You know what? I
edition?
think there's actually a segment that I do at the end of these where it's kind of like something on Reddit.
Okay.
Yeah. It's actually something I think you should check out. You were talking about dad jokes before, so you know what? I'm going to suggest people check out our dad jokes.
Dad jokes are excellent.
Yeah, go ahead. Here, I'll rattle one off. Okay, so this guy, while choosing a frozen vegetable to eat with dinner, I handed my oldest a bag of peas to place in the cart. He looked at them reluctantly. I asked if they wanted to pick something different. After neither boy answered me, I said, "Come on, you know this." What would he say? Speak now or forever hold your peas.
Wow. I thought I was going to say like peas past the peas. I'm tongue twisting myself. But no, forever hold your... Okay. That was pretty good. I've heard some better ones though.
Well, what turns you on? Spontaneity. So if I spontaneously combusted, that would be like the hottest thing you've ever seen.
Oh my god.
They're like groaners. But
dad
like,
jokes. But that
good.
is actually one of my favorite subreddits. It's very hilarious.
Flirting with a girl.
Yeah. What did the pirate say when he turned 80? I'm 80. I'm 80.
That reminds me of a different joke. So one day, a pirate walks into a bar with a steering wheel on his crotch, and the bartender says, "Hey, what's up with the steering wheel?" He goes, "Arr, it be driving me nuts."
Oh my god!
You know, the next pirate after that came in with a pair of cling wrap pants. And everyone's like, "Dude, get out of here. Everyone can clearly see you're nuts."
I heard that one with like a guy goes up to a psychiatrist's office wearing nothing but saran wrap.
I think it was like on
and
Austin.
the doctor takes one look at him and says, "Well, I can clearly tell you're nuts."
I think it was on Austin
See
Powers or something.
That could be possible.
I remember
too.
that.
There's a lot of good,
I think like Dr.
jokes
was
like
like
that.
looking up his ass, and he's like, "You know, I always knew you were crazy, but now I can see you nuts." And it's just like they look at the camera or something.
I think the comments are like equally juicy. Like afterwards, it's like, "I told my wife that I'm 80 joke." Her response, "I don't like you anymore."
Worth it.
Yeah, let's see.
A horse walked into a bar.
Like the title of this one is Stop, 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 Stop. You were forewarned.
Wow.
Do the horse one.
Do the horse one?
There's only I feel like there's only a quota of these you can hit.
Yeah, there's only a quota before like they're not funny anymore, and you have to like you're just groaning at all of them. Horse walked into a bar, and the barman said, "Hey," and the horse replied, "Sure."
I always thought the "Hey, why the long face?" That was what I was expecting. But then it's like the "Hey."
Of course, the comment
sure.
afterwards is like, the horse walked into a bar. His bar says, "Why the long face?" And the horse responds, "I think my alcoholism is destroying my family."
That's like, what are those called? Anti-jokes? Like
anti-jokes.
Like a man
right
walks,
after that, there's like a link. Anti-jokes is over there, dude.
Like a man walks into a bar, breaks his back, and no longer feed his family. They lose their house. Like that's one of the anti-jokes I've heard before. Like, it's like it's pretty sad. We could do a happy one.
What's brown and sticky? Stick.
Oh, what's brown and rhymes with poop?
Dr. Dre.
No, it rhymes with Snoop. My bad. I said it backwards.
Dr. Dre.
Oh God, that actually reminds me of something. Have you ever heard a child tell a joke?
I mean, yes.
Have you ever heard them tell it in such a way where it's just like it's terrible? Like it's
Yeah, but then it's so
absolutely
funny
crappy.
with how they tell it.
Yeah,
Bad
kid jokes. There's literally what knock knock. Who's there? It is me. It is who now? It me. What? What am I here for? I forgot. Well, go away because I'm going to the shop. Can I come? No, I will not be annoying. Like that's literally the joke.
I don't even know who's talking in that. Like, it is.
I just know because I'm like reading the phone.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a lot
here.
of
Why is it wrong to be friends with a fish?
because they're underwater.
they are poopy. That's literally a bad kid joke.
Oh, now I get it.
Like,
So,
it's like
God.
the kids are just fucking up the jokes.
I mean,
I don't think there's a joke to begin with. I think that is the joke.
I think that is a joke. Like that.
What has long hair and is white?
A lot of things.
Is that it?
Horses.
The answer to this one is a vampire. Like you're never going to get it.
That's perfect.
You're never gonna get it.
That is
I had
a great
all right,
non sequitur joke.
This
right
makes
there.
I had a cousin who would always tell this joke. He's like, "What's this thing on 8 wheels?" And it always had to have 8 wheels, and it also always had to be something totally different from the thing on 8 wheels. So here's a sample. What's a milkshake on 8 wheels? You will never guess.
Pancake.
Yeah, a milkshake on 8
A
wheels.
fence. It was
What?
a fence. That was the punchline.
What?
Ah man, that's not funny.
It was funny when you did it 100 times over.
I don't-
when you
like-
just walk up to everybody and you're
Oh,
like,
yeah, you can
"What's
get
this on
people's
8 wheels?"
reactions.
And I'm like, "All right, we need another one. What's a rock on 8 wheels?"
A fence.
A sunglass.
See, but
That
that's
was
like-
the joke.
That to me is I just it's like free verse poetry. I just don't get it. I just don't understand it.
There was nothing to get. He just really thought it was funny, and after a while, it was funny because of how
Because
stupid
of how
it was.
silly it is.
Wonder if there's actually a subreddit for bad kid jokes. But you know what? I'll stick with the Tumblr. Until then, dad jokes. I'm gonna stick with that.
Dad jokes. Shout out to dad jokes.
Shout out to dad jokes.
Shout out
Dad's
to dad jokes.
Dad's everywhere. I can't wait until I'm a dad and I can pull these jokes. You know what I mean?
You can do some groans from your kids. That's gonna be.
Groan inducing. If
That's
you're
gonna
not,
be terrible.
if your kids aren't.
Well, is your dad like do that to you a lot?
Oh,
he seems to have a great sense of humor.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, my dad is.
You know,
he was fucking wacky. I remember.
I want to explain like the day I met Dean's dad. I walked out of a bathroom sucking on a candy cane.
Oh yeah, I think
and,
I was there for that.
I
That
couldn't
was
shake his
fun.
hand because my hands were all sticky with like candy cane juice. So I was like all confused, and I was like, "Hold on," I'm like talking with this candy cane in my mouth, and Dean's like, "This is my dad," and I'm like, "Oh," I thought your name at the time was like Jigari or something like that. So I was like,
Shiregi.
I was like, hey, and I elbow bumped him because I didn't want him to get any candy cane juice on him, and I felt like a 5-year-old as I was like sitting there, still eating my candy cane. And your dad was like, "So this guy's in pharmacy school?" And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely. That's what us pharmacy students do. We eat these things." And it was very similar to the time I met Reese's dad, which is very awkward as well.
That was
Um,
hilarious.
If you want, I can explain the story.
Yes.
Let's go into that on the post show. Let's go. Into that.
all right, sure,
But
we'll
you
do
know
it.
what? You know
That is funny
this is,
story.
all right. This has been.
I have to be me though.
Absolutely.
Another episode in the bag, guys. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Thanks
having
for
us,
listening.
man.
This was a blast.
It was a
Rate,
great time.
comment, subscribe. Do none of those things. Just tell your friends about it. All right. This has been Gentleman Dog Portrait. Signing off.